Osama bin Gumi. Now, this Sheikh Osama bin Gumi is someone who is so prominent enough to know the locations the locations of all these terrorists without a map. He knows the roads to them, the short, the long, and the rest of that. Right now, Sheikh Osama bin Gumi is asking the Tinubu's government never to have any conversation with Trump. And in fact, the right thing to do now is for Tinubu to call the American ambassador to Nigeria and give them 48 hours to leave Nigeria, terminate the relationship with them because of what Trump just did. Saudi Arabia arrested Sheikh Osama bin Gumi, right? He was in prison for 7 months. And the pressure from Nigeria, I'm talking about all this Islamic terrorist sponsor, the behind the scenes sponsor, they pressured, and Nigerian government, they pressured Saudi Arabia in order to have Sheikh Osama bin Gumi released from prison. And when he was released, he was banned for life from Saudi Arabia. So, Alaye, they don't ban you for life. What you want to go do for Hajj? Osama bin Gumi decided to go to Hajj this year, 2025, under the under the National Hajj Commission, something, to make it look like he's going on an official trip to Saudi Arabia on an Hajj. He got there, they detained him at the airport, they bundled him back to Nigeria. Saudi Arabia does not want to have anything to do with terror sponsor in this sense, right? But Nigeria is a place where they feel so comfortable. In fact, they threaten government to listen to the terrorists, or else whatever you are suffering right now is going to be a child's play. But somebody once warned us, Sha.
Secondly, Borno, by the then Borno governor, Ali Sherrif. He is still roaming the streets freely. Yes. When Yusuf was caught alive, who created it? The ECOMOG. Who created the ECOMOG? We have to look at the root cause in order to find a solution. The root cause of that problem, as we know it today, is Ali Sherrif. He used them for his own political machinery. He armed them as his political thugs. He even made one of them a commissioner. But they became too powerful. And they had no option but to try an elimination, which was not possible, and which we are all paying for. The military came in, and they cashed in. And they have turned the Northeast into a cash cow. Military jumbo budgets, unaccounted for. I remember Jonathan was spending 2 billion naira every day on security. But there was no security. Hundreds and thousands of our people were slaughtered. And we also know that the army, more than anything else in Borno and Yobe, have contributed and enforced this so-called terrorism. Terrorism has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. Secondly,
she didn't tell any lie. In 2019, I'm trying to flash back to when Oples Uzodinjo became the Supreme Court governor of Owerri. And just like that, the influx of the Fulani terrorism, unknown gunmen into the eastern part of Nigeria was like the floodgate of hell. Oples Uzodinjo. Somebody did say, these names she mentioned, the names I'm mentioning, right? They are very much still prominent people within the APC in that contraption today. But they want you to believe that there is an IPOB that hates themselves so much that, they are now killing people. But that is not the truth. At least there was a time that Oples Uzodinjo by himself said, no, IPOB doesn't have that capacity because they know themselves. Roach ass, Okorocha, that some love to call Okoro Hausa, once told us this too. And there's something I'm going to show you after this.
Governor Hope Uzodimma is going a very wrong direction that he might not end up well with. For what happened yesterday has simply displayed criminality in governance, yes, thuggery in governance, yes, and is creating unnecessary tension where there's no need for it. Imo today is very unsecure. For the first time since 9 years. Now, you go to Olu, you see killings in Olu, that even the Air Force fighter jets, for the first time in history after the war, would come round Olu. You see, yesterday alone, 10 houses were burned in Oguta. Every day, people are being killed in this state. People are being...
Hopeless Uzodigba asked Boko to please provide him enough military to go after his own suspected political enemies that will make it impossible for him to spread the goodies of the APC in Imo State. In Oguta, something happened in 2021. That was 2021. And what was that? The Nigerian army, who have been destroying properties across Olu Osu, in the name of looking for the IPOB. I mean, if you are fighting people, maybe they will be shooting you too. But rather, a coordinated military operation that lasted for hours, including that of military aircraft, fighter jet dropping bombs, like dropping bomb on the people of Olu Osu. It was hell. So, what did they do? They said they encountered unknown gunmen, according to them, and then the unknown gunmen escaped. In anger, the Nigerian military, Nigerian soldiers, they burned down every property in their wake. Everything they found on, they set homes ablaze, they shot people, and all of that. This is the story of the Eastern Nigeria. The politicians have done so much to force their own narratives on you. But Nigerian soldiers, Nigerian army, they did this, not terrorists. Nigerian army. It's like they are coming and they said they encountered unknown gunmen. So they kind of like pushed the unknown gunmen back. Then what happened after? In anger, they just burned the properties of everybody in that area. Like terrorists do. Yeah? And that was what gave us the full kind of like evidence of the repentant terrorists they have recruited into the Nigerian army. No sane soldier, no sane military will do this. Their intention is not to provide any security in Eastern Nigeria. Their intention is, in fact, their mission is to aggravate insecurity in the place enough to justify all of the state-sponsored killings that were to happen in eastern part of Nigeria. Listen, Nigerian army, again, did this unprovoked. In all.
Jesus. Hey! Hey! Jesus. Jesus. Hey! Hey! It is God Almighty. It is what's up. Oh my God. Hey! Hey!
Come and see what I've done. I made a mistake. She will go for 9. I made a mistake. She will go for 9. Hope I made a mistake. She will go for 9. Look at what I've done in our junction. Everywhere is ablaze. Hope I lazy email. Hope I lazy email. Look at people's house on fire.
Yes!
Don't come closer to the filling station for explosion.
Look at it. Look at it. Hope the bastard. Hope I taking on my swear. Hope I taking on my hope. Look at people's house.
Hope the bastard.
I'm going to take hope on my. I'm going to hope on my. I'm going to hope on my. Look, imagine. Nigeria army and Modu just set everywhere ablaze. So what happened? Nigeria army, watch that number. Watch here. Everywhere is ablaze. They do long matter about local. Which can go from Kaiwan and Obodo? Look over on Obodo. Ogoban future as a problem. If I am maybe say baga this future, I want a problem. Look at people's house. Look at Nigeria army. Hello? Look at it.
I mean, they have spent so much money. You just saw that, right? They've spent so much money to convince you that the reasons why the eastern part of Nigeria is unsafe was because Nnamdi Kanu is asking for Biafra. They said Nnamdi Kanu has radicalized the young people of eastern Nigeria, and that is why the Nigerian soldiers, the Nigerian government, they got provoked that they have to create the scene of violence, of war, on the same people they are supposed to. I mean, I do ask myself, by the way, like, as an average Nigerian soldier, right, if they post you to eastern Nigeria, do you always feel like you are going there to a strange land as a Nigerian soldier? Do you go, when they post you to eastern Nigeria, do you automatically feel like you are going to a different country, a strange land? Because that's the way I see it. They just see everybody as IPOB. They see everybody as those who want Biafra. Nobody is spared. There is no professional, nothing. They go there like they are going there to fight combatant enemies. And I don't understand. I don't. Like, as a soldier, I believe that professionally, when somebody, if you are not really shot at, or if you don't see that somebody is holding a weapon, there's no point in you getting mad and killing them. So they did that 4 years ago and more, even worse. Villagers who are there in their own quiet communities, they will suddenly start hearing gunshots. These are not terrorists, though, Nigerian soldiers. They will start burning their properties. They will start. It was so hot, so terrible, that the Nigerian media that are supposed to be reporting this whole thing, they were in on it. Because it's all IPOB. Because they were telling the people that they are killing them because they are supporting IPOB. They want them to renounce them. They want them to come out and say, I hate IPOB. Just like the same thing they did during the Civil War that caused so many people to deny that they are Igbos today in Nigeria, united Nigeria, ununited Nigeria. If you tell yourselves the truth. The criminal politicians who are the brain behind the entire criminality, the terrorism and all of that, they are behind the killings of their own people. All they needed is just to put up a scheme and target the cause, the reason why they are doing it. Because they want to protect you. Yeah, we need to protect all of you. We are doing our best. All these people, we are killing them because we want to protect you. But logically, they can't really protect you. You know, fortunately. In Lagos, people who have who have worked all their lives to become property owners, legitimately, they came under the attacks of the land grabbers who have the state government's connection. But before we get to that, I want to quickly remind us, if this is the first time of watching Maiyegun and you probably love what you have heard so far, you can subscribe to my channel, by the way, and to the rest of you who are the Templars. So we call this place the Temple of Truth. And others are already calling it the Temple of Undiluted Truth. Temple of Undiluted Truth. Tout. But majority will kind of stick to the TOT. Temple of Truth. So it can be uncomfortable uncomfortable truth, undiluted as well. So if you feel comfortable today and you still want more, subscribe. So dear Templars, with this number, we should have more than this offering, which is the like. So please like the broadcast if you haven't already. Yeah, please. And then share it. So before I go to Lagos, Werewike was on the channels this evening, still pretty much on this issue of insecurity that has prompted the American government to, threaten to act. So Werewike, it is maybe some politicians who are taking politics out of context and all of that they're ready to burn Nigeria again, not them taking responsibility, right? So I want to touch that before we go to Lagos. There's also an Arewa part of it too, because the Arewa are also pushing, Arewa Consultative Forum. They are pushing for a national sort of like a unity so that we can show to America that we love ourselves. I may get to that if the time permits. So please like the broadcast. Currently, for the past hour, we have been over 2,000 of us on YouTube. So, and the number should be more than what we have now. So please take a moment. Please, let's take the likes now to maybe 1,000 if we can. And you only need to like it once, okay? And also, let me tell you about Lagos. We can continue about these stories of the reactions of the Nigerian political class and their hirelings on the Donald Trump's promise. Because I'm thinking we could possibly take calls as well. Like people can react to this just before we call it a night, right? So let's go to Lagos. Yeah, people who struggled all their lives to own properties had all this, taken away from them without a penny in compensation. So they've been protesting. They rejected the offer of peanuts, and they want the state government to give them justice. But rather than get justice, they have been faced with more violence. Violence proudly sponsored by the Nigerian police. Okay, people have been shot at severally. Some of them have been arrested. As much as some of these people have also lost their health, while few have died too. In all of this, Lagos State government kept saying that they are not aware, they are not involved. The land grabbers, as well as the Oba of the area, they are still enjoying their power. However, Omoyele Sowore, who promised the people of Oworo, that won't be the first time that they are facing these same challenges. This is not the first time they are demolishing their houses in that place. So the demolition continues. It's just this is now. So Sowore and the Take It Back have always been out there pushing, the voice of these people for to get justice. It is unlikely they will get one, but for the record, in a country where those who promise to be serving you turned around to point their guns at you, is no other than a failed country. Oworo. Today, and even Omoyele Sowore that escaped unhurt. However, he got declared wanted afterward. Police just declared him wanted in a very much lawless zoo.
jẹ́ kó wá ṣe é hàn wá lónìí. A ò lè máa kú sínú ilé. Àwọn ọmọ wa ti kú, àwọn aboyún ti kú, àwọn bàbá wa ń kú, àwọn ìyá wa ń kú. A ṣetán láti kú sínú ilé mọ́. àwa ti ṣetán láti bọ́ síta àsìkò táwa yìí. Oro raise it ẹ má fòṣì lọ̀ wá mọ́ a ò ní gbà ẹ jẹ́ kó loud ẹ má fòṣì lọ̀ wá mọ́ a ò ní gbà ẹ ṣe lásìkò yìí.